The Blue Dogs are Democrats who are more conservative. They like to call themselves moderate or centrist. Yes, it's true that some of them are in swing districts, and so they have to be a little bit more careful. They're not in perfectly progressive districts, so they can't afford to be Bernie Sanders or something, right? So I understand that part. But mainly what they are is corporatist Democrats, and they use any excuse to vote with the Republicans, especially when it comes to corporate issues. Now, in this particular case, on the issue of Obamacare, they're in an absolute panic. Now, it's always big news when Republicans splinter at all, as they did during that fight we just had on the government shutdown. And it was like, oh my God, some of the Republicans didn't agree. Whereas when 39 Democrats abandoned President Obama on the Affordable Care Act, as they just did in voting with the Republicans to delay a portion of it for a year, it's not big news because those bitches do it all the time. Okay, they're the sniveling Democrats. So they're like, oh, yeah, okay, Republicans, I'm so scared. What do you want me to do? I'll vote with you. So that perfect example of that in this case. So first of all, James Clyburn says, and look, he's trying to stop it, right? He's one of the leaderships in the House. He doesn't want the Democrats to vote with the Republicans, but he says, look, they did so to, quote, insulate themselves against sound bites. So, my God, they'll run ads against you if you don't vote with the Republicans to, quote unquote, fix Obamacare by delaying portions of it for a year, right? This whole idea of you can keep your health care plan, et cetera, right? So how did that work out for them? Well, let's find out. Because afterwards, the Republicans decided that they were going to have a different strategy. So did they say, hey, you know what, Democrats, since you voted with us, our bad, our mistake, we won't run any ads on that issue against you? Maybe not. Let's go to Brock McCleary. He's the head of Harper Polling, and he's a guy who has worked with Republicans and today works with Republicans on how to get them ahead in elections. Here's what he says. It's bad enough that you own Obamacare. Now to vote for a fix makes you appear duplicitous and to fit the mold of the typical Washington politician. I love breaking down the news. You know what that means? Ha ha, you idiot. We're going to hold Obamacare against you anyway. And now that you made the mistake of voting with us, we're going to hold that against you, say, sniveling Washington politician. You see that? He voted with us, and he's a liar, but he really wants Obamacare. You shouldn't hate him for one reason. You should hate him for two reasons. How did voting with the Republicans work out for you guys? You still want to keep doing that, Democrats? Okay, wait. I got a lot more where that came from. Here's Dan Constant, Communication Director for the Congressional Leadership Fund for the Republicans. The clear lie and rank hypocrisy on health coverage will be a major issue next year. What happened? I thought you were going to insulate yourself against that soundbite. Seems like it perhaps didn't work. He continues, they're caught in a lie that's going to haunt them in a year. Here, back to Brock McCleary. It's going to make for, quote, a pretty potent ad come next fall. But wait a minute, I thought you were insulating yourself against those ads. Turns out they're going to run the ads against you anyway. Seriously, how stupid are Democrats? Do they never learn anything? Did they really think that the Republicans weren't going to run ads against them if they voted with the Republicans? After all these years, are you that pathetically ignorant about politics that you have all these legislative advisors who say, oh yeah, well, of course, Congressman, if you vote with the Republicans, they'll like you and they won't run ads against you on this issue. Of course they're going to run ads against you on this and every other issue. More from and these are the Republicans saying it, okay? They say, Brock again, however, for those on the other side of the cone who voted for the fix, that's with the Republicans, I think it could also find its way into paid advertising. In other words, run the ad against you either way. You vote against us, you got an ad. You vote with us, we run two ads. He says, potentially a Democrat gets themselves wrapped around the spokes by trying so hard to make this vote exculpatory. At that point, you're really playing into Republican ads. It's a double whammy. One last one from Andrea Bozek, that is the National Republican Congressional Committee's communications director. No matter what this Washington politician says, Representative Nick Rahal, who's Democrat from West Virginia, voted to give us Obamacare and keep Obamacare on the books. Now, this is the message that the Republican Party put out on 33 different Democrats who made the mistake of voting with them. And if you notice the first part of that sentence, they said, no matter what he says, we're going to say he's with Obamacare. We don't give a damn what you say. We're going to run the same ads either way, you schmuck. And thank you for helping us by voting with us and then giving us further ammunition to call you a hypocrite, a liar, and say you love Obamacare anyway. Finally, let me go back to my friend James Clyburn, who thought that this strategy might not be so bad even though he was against it. He says, I don't blame anybody for insulating themselves from these sound bites because that's the world we live in, unfortunately, but that's the world we live in. No, it isn't. The world you live in, the Republicans hate you no matter what you do. They run those ads against you no matter what you do. They're going to put you next to Obamacare no matter what you do. And for Christ's sake, can you figure that out already?